Glad you're not drinking on the job, though, because we need to stay focused up here. That's one of the things that we do here every day. You know, we prepare.
We try.
We try to prepare our segments and make sure that we give you the best information for making your life better. And I think that we do a good job every day.
We do a pretty good job. But our first guest is a pro at this. If anybody knows about preparing an interview, getting things ready to go and inform you, well, that would be our first guest. She spent 2 decades as the co-host of Good Morning America and became one of the most well-known and trusted names in journalism.
That's right. I am a huge fan of hers, not just because she's been on the show a few times, 2, 3 times, something like that. Love you, Joan. Joan Lunden is an inspirational author. She's a caregiver, a mother of 7, and she's here today to tell us about her new projects and how she balances everything within her busy schedule.
And Joan, we are fortunate enough to have her right here in the studio. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. But let me ask you something. You have been in journalism for so long. Audra and I have to be on our A game today because you've actually taught journalism, right?
Exactly.
You've actually taught journalism.
I actually have, yes.
So we might get notes at the end
I know.
of this.
We have to be prim and proper right now. Okay.
Is there anything that stands out to you in your career, top of your head? Anything that like jumps out as this was the moment that really crystallizes my career?
Well, you know, I started out in Sacramento, California, came to New York City, and I actually was, the first job I ever had, I was a weather forecaster. Except that was so long ago that they actually called us weather girls.
Weather girls.
Weather girls.
And weather is no joke. People think you just stand there and point. Weather is really difficult.
And you know what? It was the best thing to start out in because we didn't really have a script. You just had to, you were always at the end of the show. So you didn't know whether you're going to be 1 minute or 5 minutes long. You had to learn to be extemporaneous. It was really a great place to start.
That's interesting.
And then when I came to New York, I'd been a weather person and an anchor, but then I got thrown into being a reporter in New York City.
Wow.
So that was a great 5 years before I went on to Good Morning America.
And do you still watch morning news programs at all?
I am such a news junkie that it's sick.
Really?
I cannot turn the TV off at night because I'm always, I'm so into CNN and everything late at night. You know, I'm just a news junkie.
More so now than it was when you were working in the business, or is
I
it
don't know
a little bit?
No, I mean, I just lived
less?
it then. I was wherever news was happening, we were there.
Yeah,
but certainly there's more coverage now than when you were doing Good Morning America. There wasn't sort of the wall-to-wall news stations.
I know they pretty much just had to watch, you know, one of the 3 networks, ABC, NBC, or us. So now it's splintered so much. You know, people get there, and a lot of people are just getting their information from the internet.
Online.
Exactly. Do you think the coverage, news coverage, is better or worse, or like what's your take on how things have changed?
You know, there's good and bad that comes from being instantaneous. I mean, I think we influence things. It's probably not good. We probably influence just the political, you know, arena by the instantaneous and the constant critique of every word everyone says. That's certainly very, very different today. The good thing is that nobody really can get away with doing something horrendous in some corner of the world because someone will have their iPhone there and be videoing
Catching it all.
Well, and we're seeing that with the whole Coney 2012 thing right now. Social media put that guy on the map.
Well, hello, there was a day when I would go to give a speech and they would have to sign something that says if we take any pictures of you, we'll have them approved first. Now, when I'm giving a speech, there are, you know, people with their iPads and their iPhones. You're on the internet before you walk off the stage.
Exactly.
You don't own your image at all anymore. It's like fair game. And I kind of like being connected. When I first went on Facebook and was trying to answer my new 5,000 best friends, my husband would say, put that down and go to bed. Like, what are you, crazy? And it was really intriguing, though, to me because I talked to millions of people every day for decades. And all of a sudden, I was talking back and forth with them.
A lot more hands-on.
And I am intrigued by that. So it's really such a different world, though.
It's such a different world, but one thing stayed the same. People trust you, they respect you, they feel comfortable with you, and I think that's why you had not only such a long-standing career, but why people see you now and still relate to seeing you on morning news. And that would tie into the book we're talking about.
This is a really terrific book.
Yeah, Chicken Soup for the Soul series. You're talking about caregiving, and you take care of your 93-year-old mother, right? Okay.
And you know, it's not just me. There are 46 million, and those are conservative estimates, 46 million Americans who are responsible for the care of someone else. And it's a complicated, complex, emotional journey. You know, you go through a lot of passages in your life that seem natural. You move away from home to go to college, you get married, you learn to live with somebody else, you have a child, you learn to take care. Let me tell you, when the day comes that you have to be the parent to your parent, it is one of the most awkward, strange transitions that just doesn't feel natural. So it's really hard for adult children to push their parents to have this conversation. but you need to.
It's a rude awakening.
And why do you think we fail to have the conversation?
Nobody wants to make their parents talk about end-of-life issues, and nobody wants to talk about it and face the fact that they're going to have to be responsible and figure out how to keep their parents comfortable and happy and safe. And the estimates are right now that baby boomers today are going to spend more time taking care of their parents than they did their children.
Really?
Like, just stop and think about that one. Why is this happening? It's happening because we're living longer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wonderful thing. But then again, we're living longer, and it costs a lot of money. And also, people are delaying marriage, delaying having children, so that here you find yourself in your 40s, you still have kids at home. The average caregiver in America is a woman who is 49 years old, who has a job outside the home, because people aren't retiring young these days.
Right.
They can't economically. She still has kids that she's taking care of in the home or trying to finance them through college, and she's taking care of parents. And it usually falls on the woman. Even if it's the husband's parents, it usually falls on the woman.
And she's got 7 kids. We're going to talk about that in a
And
second.
I have 7
That's
kids.
a whole other story.
We're going
right
to take
there.
a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk not only more about caregiving in this great book, but also about Joan's thoughts on parenting. 7 kids. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Better Show. We are back with Joan Lunden. We've been talking about caregiving and journalism and your fantastic career, but you're also a mother of how many?
7.
7.
I know.
Wow.
I never would have thought, but I mean, it's round 1, round 2.
Yeah.
I have 3 older girls who everybody who watched me on Good Morning America kind of saw them grow up. They're all 20-something now and just grew up to be wonderful young women.
2 sets
One of
of
them's
twins.
getting married.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes,
very
in
nice.
August. Lindsay.
Yes.
She's sitting right over there. She's
Congratulations,
going, yeah, that's me.
And Lindsay works with my company now and
Right.
travels all over the country with me. We just got in from the Chicago Houseware Show, debuting my new cookware line.
Right.
And it's great. It's great having someone with you that'll say, no, Mom, you're not wearing that.
Seriously, we work with her a lot. Lindsay's great. She's like a
And
little
she
Joan.
really will tell me that.
She is.
The twins are 7 and almost 9.
Man.
Did you learn any lessons from the first set that you're trying to apply to the second set? Because your girls turned out so great.
You know something? Seriously, I am so much less daunted by parenting the second time around. Maybe it's just, been there, done that, and you know that they kind of grow up, and you always worry about them. And the little group though is quite a gaggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To which to contend. I mean, it's fun though.
Well, a lot of people come to you and ask for parenting advice because they feel like 7 kids and she's still smiling right now and the kids are all happy and healthy. What's your #1 parenting tip? What would you say?
Marry a camp director.
There you go. Got it. I love it.
Seriously,
What's the big
my
difference?
husband owns summer camps for kids, and he's also completely undaunted by it. And right at the moment, they're still at that age where I can get them to do anything. I just make it a challenge. You walk in the house, you say, let's see who can be the first one to hang their coat and put their shoes in the cubby. They knock each other down.
As long as it's a competition, right?
Everything in my house is a
Everything's a game.
competition, because that's how you get things done.
I like that. That's cute.
So spring break is coming up, and we're going to talk
Yeah.
a little later in the show about spring break safety. Did you worry about that with your girls? I mean,
Of
daughters on
course.
spring break, a lot of opportunity for things to go wrong.
Every parent worries about it, and you're always like, I'm not going to let them go. But then you have to let them go, and you just hope that you instilled the right values in them, that they'll make the right decision in those moments.
Had that confidence in yourself in the way that you brought them up, right? Okay.
And in them, and you have to instill confidence in them too.
Yeah.
I always say my parents constantly instilled positive reinforcement in me. Those a little bit every day. You can be anything you want to be, and it really goes a long way.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, and I think we did a good job.
I think we did a we'll get some notes later.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The book, by the way, it is called Chicken Soup for the Caregiver's Soul. Great book and a great conversation that folks need to be having. Stay tuned, because if you are sending your kids off on spring break like we were talking about, we have got safety tips.
Every parent needs to know.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Make them stay.